第一呢 A、2B、3B、4D、5D license 會 suspend 咗 permanently revoke 佢個 commission after being found guilty 嘅。Best definition of a misrepresentation as it applied to ethics in field of real estate 係 false statement about promisor is going to do the future. Best definition of misrepresentation as is applied to ethics 係 false statement about the promisor. Business Code state個 commissioner may temporarily suspend, permanently revoke a real estate licensee at any time when licensee has been guilty of acting more than one party in a transaction without the knowledge or consent to all parties. True. If a person has the reason to believe that a licensee is in violation of any of acts set forth of a business code, he or she should file a verified complaint in writing with the commissioner. Commingling of funds is all of the above. Misappropriate use fund, mixing broker fund with fund of principal more serious. Assuming that a broker procured a personal option to purchase property belonging to his principal without disclosing the fact that he has already a higher offer from another buyer, he is to be found guilty of secret profit. Knowing making substantial misrepresentations of the likely market value of real property to its owner for the purpose of acquiring an interest in the property for licensee-owned account is a common lawful practice by real estate licensee 梗係唔 common 啦。If an officer designated by cooperation broker license failed to exercise reasonable supervision and control of the activities of the cooperation for which a real estate licensee is required, 咁個 licensee could have his license suspended and revoked 啦。A licensee must reveal in writing to his employer the amount of profit, obtain written consent of the employer, approving said profit prior to existing and any option to purchase an agreement by the licensee to sell or buy exchange real estate for compensation or commission. 呢樣嘢係 true 啦。In order to maintain high level of ethics is business practice, real estate licensee should avoid representing without a reasonable basis the nature or condition of interior or exterior features of a property when soliciting an offer. 咁梗係要 high level of ethics 㗎啦。Moral turpitude is define everything done contrary to justice, honesty, modesty and good morale. 咁呢句只不過係 statement 嚟嘅啫。Applicants may be refused a licensee after a license after a criminal conviction involving moral turpidity. However, true 啦。The commissioner has the power to proceed against any licensee for misstatement of the fact in an application for a licensee or when the applicant has falsified an application or failed to reveal a criminal record. True. The misrepresentation of material fact is so important as to affect a judgment. A licensee would be subjected to discipline if it is found that there has been discrimination because of a marital status or physical handicap, among other reasons of prejudice. So, licensee would be subjected to discipline. True. As a licensee, if you are aware of material fact, you should disclose whether asked or not. The definition of false promise, all of the above, make a untrue statement to influence, to induce, and to persuade. Licensee not belonging to realtor, using the term realtor, has violated the misuse of trade name, subjected to disciplinary action. Unlawful conduct set forth in a regulation, specific act and omission, which do violate existing law and are ground for disciplinary action. Failing to respond reasonable inquiry of a principal as to the state and extent of effort to make property listed exclusively with the licensee would be considered unethical conduct under commission regulation. True. Salesperson know the buyer closing costs on certain sales transactions are likely to be the order of 3,000. To help the buyer decided to make the offer, the salesperson stated that the seller usually pay all the closing costs. What ethical and legal violation, if any, has the salesperson most likely committed? Underestimating the closing cost induced the buyer to make an offer, and this is legal violation. A broker informed a prospect buyer that the carpeting is excellent condition without having seen the interior of the residence and having been instructed by seller to make such a statement is actual fraud. And authorization for a person to act on behalf of another in his absence is a power of attorney. When the licensee has knowledge of facts which could materially affect the value or desirability of a listed property, and when the licensee has reason to believe the facts are unknown to the prospective purchaser, the licensee has duty to disclose all the facts to the prospective purchaser. Broker must present all effort to purchase received on a timely fashion, unless the offer is patently frivolous. True. Under which of these will the seller pay the agent commission of who sell the property? Exclusive right to sell. Regardless. The relationship between a licensee real estate broker to his principal is that of a fiduciary. The type of misrepresentation where an agent is generally not held legally liable for a statement, not held legally liable. Innocent misrepresentation. A person who has obtained a listing of real property to act as an agent for compensation would be listing agent. Ostensible authority is known as implied. What obligation does a broker owe a purchaser? A duty of honesty, integrity, fair business dealing, and the absence of negligence. The standards of care owned by a broker under disclosure law is all of the above. Broker generally know a listed property has an unstable foundation. If he failed to inform the buyer of his fault, he is guilty of fraudulent misrepresentation. Unstable foundation. Listed unstable foundation. If he failed to inform the buyer of his fault. Frank was led to believe Mary that Diana was the agent of Mary, when in effect she has not been employed by Mary. Diana would be what type of agent? Ostensible. Listing agreement between a property owner and a real estate broker is ordinarily terminated except owner become bankrupt. In a normal broker-seller relationship, broker is considered the agent. Type of negligence can be considered criminal offense is gross negligence. Doctrines of caveat emptor will protect a real estate broker from being sued if a buyer failed to notice a visible